What's up, guys? This is TampaTec, and this is the latest WolfBox dash cam system. It records the front and the back of your car, and also now the cabin. Yes, it records the inside of your car in 1080p, and it records the front of your car in 4K and the back of your car in 2.5K resolution. It has voice activation, built-in Wi-Fi for a fast data transfer, GPS for showing your location and your speed, and a 12-inch touchscreen. And this is the G900 Tri Pro made by WolfBox. I reviewed the G900 last year, which is one of the best dash cam systems I ever reviewed. But this one includes an in-cabin camera, which looks fantastic. Now the front camera you can set for 1080p, 2.5K, or 4K resolution, 30 frames per second. The in-cabin camera you can set for 1080p, and the rear camera can be set to 1080p or 2.5K resolution, 30 FPS. As you can see, it looks fantastic, and it shows you the date, the time, and even the GPS location and miles per hour, which is great to have. And also I'm going to show you the nighttime footage. The nighttime footage, I think it looks really good. And as you can see the in-cabin, even though it's really dark. This is really great to have if you're an Uber driver. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like on your phone. So the G900 and the G900 Tri Pro, they both have voice commands, so you can use the unit using your voice. No touching the screen. You keep both hands on the wheel, which is great, and you keep focused on the road. And also it has Wi-Fi, so you can download the WolfBox app and download all the footage from the dash cam to your phone without taking out the SD card, which is fantastic. Now if you're wondering why the upper left hand video footage looks like a lot of glare, is because it's recording through a windshield. Now if you want to transfer the footage from this dash cam to your phone, only thing I have to say is turn on Wi-Fi. Okay, make sure you download the WolfBox app on your phone. There it is. Once you download the app on your phone, then you can type this stuff in. There it is right there, WolfBox. Let's tap on that. And then next we're gonna go ahead and add the camera. Hit next. Connect Wi-Fi. Okay, and we're gonna look for it. It should say WolfBox. There it is. And we're gonna go ahead and enter the password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Hit next. Yeah, it's connected without internet. All right, so now let's go back. Hit the back button. Oh, that's it. Yep, I found it. Cool. Switch. Looks like I can switch. Oh yeah. Very cool. That's what I see on the display, by the way. So this is my backup camera. And so now I can go ahead and get the footage. Just look up the footage. A share button below, share this video to them, help someone out. Subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on the latest tech videos. Thanks guys for watching. Alright, let's see what we got inside. Here we go. So it shows you all the ports right here. So it tells you extra camera connection. That's the AV port. Take it out right here. And this is the WolfBox G900 Tri Pro. Tri meaning 3 cameras. And make sure you take off that film later on. WolfBox. Here's the power on and off. It's 2 microphones right here. And it does come with a micro SD card, which is pretty good. WolfBox branded. 256 gigs. Very generous. Power, AV for the camera, GPS, and rear camera. 5 volt, 4 amp. Here's the manual. Install this. All right, so let's go ahead and take this out. This is the GPS and extra cabin camera cable. And right here is the power supply car charger. If you want to just simply plug it into your cigarette lighter port. If you don't want to hardwire it, that's fine. You can do that. extra rubber straps. Leave that in there. Leave this in here also as well. Here's the 2.5K rear camera and your cable clips. And you got some tools in here as well. So we're gonna take this with us. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the large straps. You just strap it on just like that. Clamp it on. Just like that. Make sure you peel off the film too. Now there's two different ways to power this unit. You can power it using the power adapter that's provided by WolfBox. Simply plug it into your cigarette lighter port and it'll power the unit when you turn on the car. However, if your cigarette lighter port turns off when the car's turned off and you want the dash cam to monitor your car while it's in a parking lot or in your driveway with the car turned off, then I suggest getting the fuse kit. One way to find out, simply plug in the power adapter. And we're going to plug it in right now and find out if my cigarette lighter port turns on when the car's off. So it looks like the unit's not turning on. It only turns on when the car's on. Let's see. In my case, I do need the fuse kit if I want to monitor my car while the car is parked and turned off. Peel off the film on the GPS and then mount the antenna right about here. Now it does come with a pry tool and you want to stick it right here and then kind of like get behind it, and let me show you. There we go. So just run that cable behind the airbag. Tuck the rest in. Now this part is completely optional. If you want to connect the power adapter to the cigarette lighter port, that would power the unit when the car's on. But if you want to utilize that parking monitoring, then I suggest getting the fuse kit cable. Connect to the ground. Once you have the black wire connected to a ground screw, like shown here, then go ahead and run the cable to the GPS unit. And then of course you want to run the cable behind the airbag. In selfie mode, and so I'm able to see where the fuse box is located. Here. If your car fuse box cover does not have a fuse diagram, I suggest going to startmycar.com. So I pulled out my fuse. Right here I got 15 amp fuse. These are mini. And so I'm gonna see which cable I need. So this one's too big. And this one might be it right here. Everything plugged in right here, as you can see. The wire is all twisted up and connected right here. Now we're going to install the backup camera. Installing the backup camera is a little bit tricky, but I highly suggest getting the extension kit. And the reason why is because if your cable is too short, then you're screwed. If you have a sedan, run the cable to the back of your car on the lower end. If you have a SUV or a hatchback, then run the cable for your backup camera on the upper part. And then once again, we're going to run the cable behind the airbag. There we go. And so we're going to run the cable right here in the seams. There we go. And this is the hard part right here, is running the cable through that conduit. Go. Just have a little bit of oil on the inside of the cap and wipe my finger on it and just run it just like that there. Oh yeah, way easier. A lot easier that time around. On that, so it gives it some space for it to move around in there. There we go. If you don't want any connection issues connecting to the reverse light, I suggest soldering. Strip out a little bit. Just like that. Now this part is completely optional. Connecting to the reverse light wire will trigger the backup lines when you put the car in reverse. Otherwise, the backup camera will always work if you switch it manually to rear view backup camera mode. Now using a metal drill bit, you want to grab a drill bit that's slightly bigger than the backup camera connection and then drill up into the plastic. Behind the plastic could be some metal, and then run that connection through that hole and make sure you leave a drip loop behind. And then grab your fish tape, create a little hook so you can hook the wire and pull it through. After you grab the backup camera connection, go ahead and line up the arrows and plug that backup camera connection to the extension connection, wind it up, push it back in, and make sure that connection's facing toward the access door. Now if you install it the way I did, it's easy to swap over units. Alright, so I have the in-cabin camera mounted right here, and you can adjust that, you know, tilt it back and forth just like that. Make sure this tab is facing up or else the camera's upside down. You want to make sure it's above the rear view mirror, because if you close the sun visor, you don't want to block the view. And so right here, I'm going to go ahead and just plug in the GPS. Oh, this is the GPS right here. So the GPS plugs in right here. And this is the rear camera. This is the in-cabin camera. And this is the power. Just like that. And then this is all clamped on using the bands. There's extra bands if you need them. And make sure you take off the film off the camera lens. When the screen's turned off, it acts as a reflection, just a standard rear view mirror. Oh, let's go ahead and remove this. There we go. Now it's official. And so let's go ahead and turn on the car. When you turn the car on, the screen will turn on. Okay. It takes about a few seconds. There we go. And so I have the resolution 2.5K in the front, 1080p for the in cabin, and 2.5 for the rear camera. Time and date right here. And then also, if you don't know the commands, these are the commands right here. There we go. Show front camera. Show rear camera. If you want to enter the settings, you can do so by clicking on the gear right there. You can mute the in-cabin right here. So if you want to tap on that, that is now muted, so you won't be able to hear anything in the video. If you want to preview any footage, you just tap on that button right there, and then you can scroll through. So these are the locked footage. If you get in a car accident, it's probably going to be here. And then let's go ahead and tap on that. So you can adjust the resolution, 4K resolution for the front, and then if you want to adjust the back, so let's choose that one. If you want to record 4K footage in the front, 1080p in cabin, and then backup camera is 2.5. But I personally, I want a 2.5 in the front, 30 frames per second, in cabin, 1080p, and then also the backup is 2.5, 30 frames per second. And then there's loop recording. You can change the time. For me, 1 minute is fine because it's easy to find the footage. G sensor is in case you get in a car accident, you know, or if, let's say for example, you flip your sun visor too hard and it triggers to lock the footage. You gotta set it to low setting. There's fatigue reminder, Wi-Fi. You can turn that on and off if you want to transfer data to your phone. And every once in a while you should format the SD card. If you have any issues with the recording, just format the SD card. It should fix that issue. Or you might need another SD card, class 10. So guys, if you're interested in the WolfBox Tri Pro Dash Cam system, check out the link in the video description below. If you know anyone that might be interested in this dash cam system, click on the share button below, share this video to them, help someone out. Subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on the latest tech videos. Thanks guys for watching.